I don't like it here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the elephant out of the room here. You both were incredibly wrong on your bingo card because in both sets of guesses, even after I allowed you to change them, both had Love dying second out of the group. So the fact that he lasted into the middle of it, no, you're not right on that.
Yay, but also
put
boo.
it up there on the list.
Yeah. There's always like this show is very good about balancing good news with bad news, and you're always like, "Yeah, we're happy," and then it likes to kick you in the balls right after it.
Mine didn't die, but he did instead. I don't like it here.
That situation is a billion times worse in the manga.
Of course it is.
A billion. It is one of the most painful reads as a male that I've ever read in my life. Yeah, we'll get into that when we get into the changes thing, but. So, All Might, I mean General Budo, is finally put into the show. Who is apparently, from what he looks like to Tatsumi, 13 and a half feet tall. Jesus. In certain shots. I have no idea, but they make him look out to be giant. But you asked me when the 4 Rakshasa demons showed up, you're like, hey, are those the ones that everyone does in the thing with the blah? No. The guy who dies this episode is the leader of the faction that the extra arc is with.
Right. Now that makes sense.
Syura, the excuse me, bitch guy. Yeah, him. Oh, the exact comment that came in the chat. Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking costs.
You hear him make some comments about how people in the kingdom are just toys and he should be able to have his fun with them however he wants. I will let you sit and marinate on why I don't like that extra arc.
I don't need to know anymore.
Yeah, I won't go into grave details about every single thing that happens.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
No, when we get to the changes, I will tell you the rough subjects, but I won't go into great detail because it's basically every page.
Got it.
Yeah. I'll spare you it, but I'll let you know just the reasons why I don't when we get to there. And like I said, people that were mad that it wasn't in the anime, y'all are sick and you need help.
Especially the type of character he is. I'm good now.
The best part is he's the least messed up out of all of them.
Okay.
I'm out.
Yeah.
So we could just put that arc over here.
Yeah, we're just gonna
gesturing towards the trash.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole 10 episodes we could have got of that group of idiots. Yeah, I'm fine. And like I said, y'all are a special group of sadists and sickos. If you wanted to see any of that shit get animated, just thought I'd let you know. But anyway, so the group is called the Wild Hunt. For anyone of these two, I don't want it to look up because I will spare the details for when I bring up only what's necessary when you're looking into them because it's going to become a trash pile incredibly quickly. But anyway, so one thing that you guys did like and you were happy about in this episode was the I want to say extreme teasing of mine in the sewers.
I'm not going to say better's remorse, but it's totally better's remorse.
It gets 1,000 times worse. There's multiple times where in the manga, Leone point blank tries to get Tatsumi to sleep with her when they're in the same room as mine, and mine just flips the hell out. You don't know how to act when you have someone who's with you. What is wrong with you? She's like, she's bigger than me. I couldn't help myself. She tried to force herself on me.
Tatsumi's like,
good Lord.
I don't want to die today, especially when it comes to Leone.
Yeah, you get there's a lot more stuff with them discovering this because one thing that does happen in the manga is mine goes out of her way to walk into the meeting room with everyone and go, he's mine. No one else can have him. I've decided he is mine now. And then hence everyone going, yeah, we figured that out.
We knew it.
We got it. Trust me, when you were acting real cutesy since Kirikou and you've been sitting next to each other for days, we got it. Because it was Every luncheon they had, they sat next
I
to each
ship them
other.
hard, so I'm not mad that it's not Tatsumi and Akame. Like, I'm really not mad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're great together. I did lie partially, or I should say it was a lie of forgetfulness. You do get to see that girl that Lubbock saved one more time. She was
Oh
in
yeah,
that one
Yeah,
scene.
I
was
was
the
about to
last
say,
the
I was
last
like,
time.
excuse me.
Yeah, she shows up one more time. I'm sorry. And like they show up. I can't remember what it was, but Lubbock is like passed out somewhere, and then they come back around and find him passed out. It's during a battle that you don't see in the manga, or you don't see in the anime. It was during when they take out Bullock in the manga version. He's passed out after a fight with like Wave and Korame, and all of a sudden they just come across and they're like, "Is that Lubbock?" And they just like pick him up and walk away. So they have a bunch of random, "Do you need help?" kind of moments where they just come in for 2 seconds. But yeah, also they have moments like remember there's the 4 cardinal rules like death, taxes. The Empire's evil.
Mhm.
They really like to misuse their citizens, and also S death is OP.
Yeah.
Can't forget that. They had to remind you for 2 seconds that she's
Yes.
incredibly OP.
Yes, they did. They gave us that quick reminder about us stuff.
It's like a scene caused no point. She had just, I haven't made it back to the capital yet, and I killed another 600 people because I'm cool. It's like
Cool as ice.
cool as ice. But yeah, so we get into the part where everyone was incredibly happy for about 5 minutes in our chat, and then we're extremely not happy.
I hate it here.
I partially forget when these deaths happen in these episodes, and then like I see a glimpse.
And then I now have to only remind you by spamming gifs of crying.
Yeah. And I was just like, man, Mike is gonna be so pissed because he's like, his boy gets a really great fight scene, and then that happens, and
I am not okay.
yeah, Love It gets it a lot worse in the manga because it's stretched out over a few days. And like I said, we'll get into that later. But yeah, it's still
At least he goes out like a badass.
He does.
I think that's the one thing I've liked about most of these deaths. Chelsea, she gets
Yeah.
But like everyone else, when they go down, they at least go down fighting.
They do, and they still generally win the fights they're in. They just don't get out of them.
Yeah.
And he is the guy that gets to kill Syura in the manga. So that still happens. It's just, like I said, over a period of time. And yeah, it's dark. But yeah, we're on episode 20. There's only 4 episodes left after this.
I'm scared.
You should be. Because what I want to say here, there's Boss, Akame, mine,
and Tatsumi.
And if anyone dies, I'm gonna go after you.
Good thing you don't know my address. But yeah, like I said, it's just gonna be just buckle up because don't stop. And I will have to say, I really did like it. I didn't mention this as far as music wise. There's a couple things I didn't mention. I really liked the music when he was fighting. When he was fighting Budo. And then one thing I didn't mention that Mike mentioned in the comments is that he was waiting for Misao to catch up on the one episode with Syura, that he was listening to the ending because it's a banger. Remember how I mentioned how season 1's opening is sang by Akame's Japanese voice actress?
Yeah.
So was that second ending.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know who voices the first ending or the second opening, but it is not her. But either way, I was like, that's really cool that you got to have her do both. I was like, you got multi-talent out of that. But yeah, and then we end off with what we'll have to wait a week before we get to see what happens with it. The notice of Tatsumi's execution. Any questions, statements, comments, concerns?
I feel like Tatsumi's just gonna snap. Like the next person he sees, snapping. I mean, like I would have too. You so love die like that in front of your eyes. Does he kill Edged? Because like I'll still be okay if he does.
I'm not commenting.
I won't say anything either because I accidentally got spoiled on something because of YouTube.
Oh no! And the algorithm's always watching.
Yeah,
listening, I
unfortunately.
should say. But yeah, try to avoid it. Try to avoid it your best, because, like I said, we ain't got much left. And how it's pretty much going to manage in my head is that we're going to make it through 3 more episodes. We'll have the last episode on the session after that and the changes. So that'll actually work out kind of perfect as far as like recording time wise. But yeah,
we'll figure that part out. But
yeah, you'll still enjoy it, even though something got spoiled, because I legitimately knew every person that died, exactly how the show ended, before I even knew what it was about. I got it spoiled for me on a car ride by 2 people just talking about anime.
Oh, don't worry. Spoilers don't actually ever affect my opinion. It's just this one I was trying so hard to avoid.
Yeah.
YouTube was like psych.
It's hard to do with a show that's like this, where it's basically the hooks are who dies and who doesn't.
Pretty much, yeah.
And considering that the show's been out for like years, so
yeah, it came out in 2014, I want to say. Yeah, it's hard to avoid. But yeah, I think you guys have anything else. Yeah, it gets in the shit and it just doesn't ever come back out of it after the next one. There's no light moments whatsoever.
Oh, it's just all.
It is like, you know, as soon as they pass through the portal in Gurren and they're in space.
So it's like that.
It's you just don't. You're just all gas all the time until the credits roll in the last episode. Yeah, it is.
So we'll consider the last 4 episodes the Portal Saga.
Pretty much. Because you don't do, it's basically the Portal or the Capital Saga, because they don't do much outside of the plan's finally here and we can't back down now.
We're in the end game now.
Pretty much. Speaking of that, did you like that we got to have the Multiverse of Madness for a hot second?
Yeah, that fight.
I saw that. I was like, really cool. Wow, this episode of Gurren is great.
Yeah. Portal space.
Like if they were in there like a little bit longer, I was gonna comment like, "Wow, this episode of Gurren is amazing."
Exactly. As long as they started throwing buildings at each other, it would have been great.
But no, throwing galaxies at each other.
Galaxies at each other. Yes, I try to tell people that the show starts out in a cave with a fight with a mech that can't even make a 10-degree turn because the cave is too small, to ending with them throwing uninhabited galaxies at each other in a fight with
mechs. Out of context, he's like, yo, what?
Yeah, with I can't remember the measurements, but it's like things that are hundreds, if not thousands of times bigger than the observable universe. That, it's dumb. In the best way, it is the dumbest thing. But somehow, shockingly, it does not disobey its own rules. Basically, if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. That's why I love the show. But anyway, yeah, we're 2 recording sessions away from finishing this. It's kind of shocking how smoothly recording this has gone. We've only skipped 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks
at most. Yeah.
We've been pretty good.
Pretty good. Clipping right along. And me and Mike know what's happening for the next one. We don't know who will be the extra guest in it. I know who I'm going to ask, but we'll see. Yeah, so going on from that, we will head on out of here. Mike, go ahead.
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser, the Banana Meter, listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
And so,
And you can find me on Twitter at Kibo028.
and you can find me everywhere at Organoid0, where if you want to come on a random stream and talk to me about Gurren, I will talk to you for hours. I will talk you stupid.
He will. He will.
Yes.
So fast.
But anyway, and
Got me into it
again,
that way.
exactly. I got a very upset. Speaking of, man, every time I introduce someone to Gurren, I go, I'm giving it about a week, and then I'm going to get
literally like he
different...
timed the day I was going to react to certain moments.
And it happened the same thing with Crow too. That poor bastard stopped on episode 7, and he was like, "Man, I can't
my
wait to
god,
see..."
no.
Oh, he was so pissed. He's like, "Yeah, I'm really liking it, and I can't wait to see the relationship."
Oh,
I
no.
really think Kamina and Yoko are going to be a great couple, and that
Oh,
was before.
dear God, that poor
And
innocent
that was before.
soul.
Yeah, that's before I went to bed, and I wanted to message you, poor bastard. And then I went to work, and he didn't have to work. And halfway through, my phone was exploding with messages.
You shouldn't do that Frozen gif of Kristoff saying, "I'm gonna tell him." Let's just leave it at that before you went to bed.
And then the worst part was he even did it again at the end before they go to rescue Nia.
No.
He's just like, yeah, those two are a great couple. I really love them together. I'm like, I am so sorry.
This man put himself to that fucking trap.
It did. And then he's just like, I don't trust you for anime recommendations anymore. I'm like, what did I do? He's like, you know the emotional trauma you put me through. And then I had him watch Evangelion all the way through with me.
Jesus.
And then I had him watch Akame get killed in one shot.
I mean,
that's dangerous.
He's just like,
if I was his position, I wouldn't blame him for not trusting you with anime recommendations.
It's just like,
If I was him, I would be the same.
Yeah, I get accused of liking animes where characters die. I don't. I really don't.
Hey, it's not your fault the characters just happen to die.
Exactly. And like, hey, if you want a somewhat lighter version of Gurren, you watch the second movie, because like 9 of those characters that die don't. Unfortunately, Nia still goes away, but everyone else is there. Because they
just lose one character instead.
It's just this one character that makes me cry every time I think about it, because she's the cutest, most adorable thing ever, and I'm crying trying to think about it. Ah! Anyway, I have my very first Fresh Takes with Mike is on there. We've done everything. We did the parallel works. We did the movies. Some of those are like an hour long. I don't know how people watch me and Mike rant about that stuff, because there's like 300 views on some of those, and it blows my mind. But yeah, we're going to get on out of here. See you guys later.
Peace.